All right, let's talk about the finale to Beethoven's Fifth Symphony here, arranged by Robert Frost. Wonderful arrangement, lots of things to talk about. I want to highlight some of the really main points that you need to remember when you're performing this. First, dynamics. Most important thing, probably. Let's talk about that first. Lots of fortissimos, and of course, what do we need to do when we're playing fortissimo? Making sure that our bow is traveling from the fingerboard toward the bridge, right? I want to make that happen during the crescendos and actively be pushing my bow down there. But what I've seen some students doing in class and when we're playing this is sometimes trying to use too much bow, actually, when we're playing the fortissimos. It's a fast piece. You can't play fortissimo eighth notes, because this thing is going along, in cut time here, half note, half note, half note. And so an eighth note is, you can't play with tons and tons of bow. All right, and plus it doesn't really fit the style of the piece anyway. So actually keeping it short, and I'm here at measure 56 on this crescendo. Okay, going up there to the fortissimo. I think actually I didn't do that very well in the performance, forgive me. But it really should be piano there at the pick up to 55. All right, and building, all right, to the fortissimo there. Other places where we have big dynamic changes, okay? On page 3, we have the forte piano. All right, and depending on what your teacher wants you to do as far as tempo, we're going to try to do it here in our orchestra with this feeling of one here at the presto. Wum, ba 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 bum, ba 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 bum, just like in the original. It's marked half note equals 108 to 112 in your part, which is quite a bit slower, which is fine. That sounds great too. If you're going to play it up tempo though, you want to make sure, again, little bitty bows, really stick the bow into the string for the forte piano. Big explosion of sound there. Also on the crescendos, pick up to 120. And once I get up to the fortissimo again, my bow, as you can see, fortissimo, you can think of fortissimo as close to the bridge as possible without making an ugly sound. We don't want to be scratchy, but we want it to be full when we get up there to the fortissimo. And this thing is great really fast at the presto because it harkens back to the first movement, right? This is Beethoven's Fifth. The first movement goes like this. Da-da-da-dum. All right, so when you play this at the end, remember the whole symphony, all four movements are based on those four notes. All right, so when you play it up really fast, all right, that's the reason for that at the end, that little motive coming back to us. Also, when I performed it, if you want a little extra challenge, I played measure, well, my measure numbers got cut off. This would be measure 38, 39, that section up there at the top of page 2 before page 45. You can do open strings. It's not so terribly fast that you just can't do open strings and do the string crossings, but it's a good habit to get into. Sorry. To play things like this all on one string, it just sounds, so much better, and you don't hear all the string crossings, and it actually makes it, because it's supposed to be this open, very legato passage, all right? And so doing it all on one string. Can actually go a little bit faster and make it even more legato by doing it that way. What else? I also did a stop string up in measure 7. So I could put a little vibrato on it. Open A is fine. Make sure you set the bow on that, all right? And try to make it the most beautiful open A you can if you're going to play open A there. Some other things that I wrote in my part as I was practicing this and preparing it. Sorry, I tried to say all that at once. Some B naturals in here because there's a lot of B flats that come around and then all of a sudden you don't have the B flats anymore and you start to get confused. So I put myself some courtesy accidentals in there at measure 61, okay? Because I kept playing that one as a B flat. Also over in measure 139, all right? B natural, okay? Just to make sure, because you have so many B flats and A flats and different things before that, that it just kind of seems natural to play B flat there, but it's not B flat, it's B natural, all right? Other things in this piece, oh yes, the triplets there. Look at this section here at the top of page 2 at 45. All right, again, it's forte, but it's very fast, all right? So we want little bows when we're doing this. All right, and to go from forte to piano, I'm doing it a lot with the arm weight. All right, so really loud, and then really letting up, all right, as much as I can, get back to the fingerboard. All right, we want to hear the sonority. We don't want to hear this. That's not piano, that's just nothing. We want to hear beautiful cello sound. All right, so you're going back and forth and lots of fast notes. It's going to be a lot of arm weight change there in that passage. And also to get the triplets out, the part you can't see is that I'm doing this mental reset, just giving myself a reminder about how the triplets start and what they feel like and how I want them to go. If I do that right before I play them and give them a really great start, they will come out so much better. Don't let the triplets take you by surprise. If I was to do it in slow motion, I'm getting set. It's like the energy of my arm is already going and then I'm just releasing it. Same thing again. I'm thinking about it before I get there. Sorry. All right, giving myself just a little bit of time. All right, really making sure my hand is set to play them and start on that up bow, because as always, when you're starting loud especially, it's harder to start on the up bow than it is on the down bow. All right. If you need to, remember, if you need to take the presto slower, use the settings here on YouTube to slow it down. Take it down to 0.75 or 0.5 or whatever you need to there on the presto to get it down to the tempo that your orchestra is playing it. All right? Well, thanks, and let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you next time.